Somebody has a thumbs up already? Oh my gosh. Um, I'm just gonna wait a second until people come in or until whenever. Um, because I just want to talk about Rhoda and Patty. It's probably gonna be very quick. The reason why I went live because I had recorded a podcast last night and I forgot. I totally forgot about Patty, and then I'm like, I don't want to add. I didn't want to add too much more to the podcast that I already recorded. So I'm like, I'll just go live because I didn't do a Rhoda Young recap yet. So this Rhoda Young, not somebody left, somebody's back. So the Rhoda Young recap. Oh my gosh, Rhoda hasn't been. She hasn't been going live a lot lately. And that's cool. It's cool. Whatever. Whatever. But then she went live the other day. I think like yesterday or two. No, I think it was like 2 days ago. And I guess she's getting a hood divorce from Steven. Oh wait, let me turn my phone on. Do not disturb. She's getting a hood divorce from Steven, and she went in on Steven. She's like leaving Steven, her husband. She called him slow. She's like, I kind of felt bad for you because I thought you were slow and wondering what you're gonna do if I leave without you. If what are you gonna wondering what you're gonna do before after I leave you or if I leave you. She called him slow a bunch of times, which is like you're not slow. You're very smart. You're very meticulous, and I don't understand how they got together. When I was doing my like Rhoda deep dive into her like all of her videos, my like the Virgo in me gets obsessed, and I go down like a rabbit hole of every video that she's ever made or that a person ever makes. Or just do this like crazy research, quote unquote research. And so when I was doing that, when was this? I think it was like 2020 or like last year. It might have been last year. She and him had like a crazy situation. I think they've had a couple crazy situations. One, I think he like lied and said he some kind of violence happened with her, and that ended up getting her going to jail like a day or something like that. And then another thing was like they kind of I guess they did break up. And she was quote unquote allegedly seeing other men. But recently things have gotten heated up. No, things I guess rekindled, and then they a couple months, not even a couple months ago, I think early summer, they got like he got her a new ring. Oh, his grandmother passed away. That's what it was. His grandmother has been like this like other figure in their marriage. And she talks about in this live that she did, she talked about how his grandmother made um Rhoda his grandmother was like a wedge between Rhoda and Steve. I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing because of the way she like would talk about it. She's like, I think your grandma put roots on me. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay, let me stay focused. So their his grandmother would like I don't know what this woman looked like, what she was all about, but his grandmother always was in his ear about their relationship, and he ended up not like putting his name on the lease. Well, that's what she's saying. She's saying he never put his name on a lease that we lived at, and they've been together for 10 years. He never put his name on a water bill, on any kind of bill, electric bill. The last time I heard her talk about the rent, I think she said the rent was like four. His part of the rent was 400, and he couldn't even pay that or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just repeating what I vaguely remember. Some mess like that though. So Rhoda is, sick of him, and so she's like, "I'm tired, and I'm leaving." And the last part was like she had called him or texted him saying, "Hey, I want to get a bigger house because the previous house we were in that you didn't have your name on, they kind of kicked us out or told us to leave." And so we found this one bedroom during the pandemic, when everything wasn't available. Nothing was available. So we ended up finding this one bedroom. And now I'm outgrowing. I don't, not that even she's outgrowing. I don't even want this one bedroom. So I want a house. I want like a 3 bedroom house. And he's like, "Well, I'm not. If you think this is her quote. If you think I'm paying rent for another house, yo monkey ass, you lost your monkey ass brains," or something like that. So I guess that was her motivation to go ahead and move. So right now, I think she's in like South Carolina or something like that from today's videos. So Rhoda is leaving. Rhoda is leaving Steven. She's looking for a new residency. I'm guessing it's going to be in a new state or probably very close to Virginia. This is the end of the era. She's still fighting with or trying to get answers from Newport News. So everybody that is in the DMV area and you're a Rhoda fan, go and support Rhoda at the Newport News this Tuesday. The Newport News town hall, the Newport News Hall of Fame, the Newport News something. Um, Go check her out and go support Rhoda, right? Because they're gonna pop up there at the Newport News City Hall. That's what it's called. They're popping up at the City Hall, and they're gonna ask questions at the City Hall meeting that was postponed for this week because allegedly they only had a meeting in the first Tuesdays of July and August. Okay, whatever. What's next? So shout out to Rhoda. She's on her way out. Um, it's the end of an era. It would be great not to see her and her husband fight anymore, argue anymore, because it's so yikes. Especially on um, that birthday live that she did, where she kind of was sneaking and recording him in a way, and they were just going back and forth, sounding really ridiculous. So there's that on that. So let's talk about Patti LaBelle back in the streets. Oh my gosh. Patty took They gave Patty this like a month long break when she set out Drink Champs. I don't know why I'm off for a month. I'd rather be on stage. And I'm like, "Patty, I'd rather see you." I said, "I miss Patty. I miss Patty." So I believe she was in like New York area, Canada with Shaka Khan this past week and weekend. She had a flaming ass show. She had like this new, I guess this guy, her hair artist made a new piece for her. It looks similar to, I think it was the New York Times or New York something that came out in like 2021. I think last year. Um, that came out, the article that she did, it looks similar to that. Deep ombre. She looked great, but anyway, she looked great. Also, she had like this new orange skirt and top made, which was so cute. A little flare with like a little thingy on it. She looked really, really great, and she sounded really, 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 really great. I was thoroughly impressed, thoroughly happy, thoroughly enjoyed. Like it just fills my spirit, knowing, when she just sounds great and looks great. Um, Look, I said this. I think I've said this. Yeah, I've definitely said this a couple times. Like Patty and those suits, those like skirt suits she's been wearing, they're not as they don't. She doesn't look that comfortable in in them, and she doesn't look like she can, bust a move. So when she came out, from this vacation in this orange, like orange, um, what do you call it? Damn, that's so good on a Miami short set. When she came out in the short set, right? Uh, she was pop locking and dropping. I was like, yes, my theory is correct. She is probably not that comfortable in those suits, even though they look really good. They're very tailored, very well. She looks really great in the suits. I don't think she's comfortable in it, and you could definitely see her pop lock and drop it in her little suits. And so, I mean, and the orange thing. But then, like the next night at one show, Zuri had like ushered out like this coat for her, and she kind of was like sad because she's like, Zuri thinks my skirt is too short, and he made her put on the jacket. I was just like, oh my gosh, and I don't think we've seen that short set since. That's not right. She was like, should I put this on? That wasn't right, Zuri. I don't think it was too short. I was looking back to see like before it came out. I'm like, no, from the camera angle, I couldn't see anything. So I'm just like, oh my god, it's not him policing his 78-year-old mother. Come on, Zuri. Uh, what else? She was sounding really good. I think it was like some kind of festival. I think at the Vancouver show. I only saw her the part. I haven't looked today, but I only saw her sing. It just warms my heart that she's doing something special, and she's singing "Be Yourself." I love it. I love it. She sounds great. It's a great throwback. The great, energy songs. The great up tempos. She even did New Attitude, and she sounded really, really good on New Attitude. I was just like, oh, we're in there now. Um, Excuse me. I'm just like so excited and so happy for her, and so as a fan, so thrilled. And then there's like this new guy. His voice is so beautiful. He sang On My Own, and then he sang so beautifully something about the name Jesus. Oh my gosh. His voice is just so beautiful. I think the last beautiful male vocalist she had was Brandon Winbush. His voice was really, 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 really good. What else do I want to say? She sounded really great. I want to see more of that last. I think it was the Vancouver show. I want to see more of that last show because she was doing some ad libs during something special, and I was like, oh, we in here, baby. We killing it now. I love when she does ad libs. I want her to do like more ad libs, and I just want her to be a little bit more comfortable because I know it's there. I just want her to bring a little bit more comfortability. Also, I just wish she would do like these old throwback songs, some just like random throwback song. Like switch out If Only You Knew for a couple of shows and bring in like if she would put Little Girls back in, that would make me so happy. Little Girls and Isn't It a Shame need to be back in her set list. Those two songs are really beautiful, always great. Like I was listening to When a Woman Loves, and those are some really great ballads off that song. And I'm like, I bet she can sing this really good today. Or love ballad or something. I think Tennessee Whiskey needs to go. We need to find a new up tempo. I mean, a new cover for her to do. But anyways, yeah. So the next Patti LaBelle album review I'm gonna do. I think that's like my last one. The last one that I really enjoy. The next one is going to be When a Woman Loves. And hopefully you guys can hear me. The last one I'm going to do is When a Woman Loves. And this is the cover album, her last album with MCA Records. A really, really, really beautiful album. The concept is a little funny and a little different. And I'm gonna have to do my research. If you please, if you're listening to this and you have any like remixes, or if you've heard the Call Me Gone remix that she says she did with Shaggy, but the label never put out. If you have that, um please contact me. My Instagram is my love my need tonight, or leave a comment. Please leave a comment below, because I want to hear that. If you have any remixes from that album, because I just realized I didn't. That's the one thing I hadn't really gotten into when I'm reviewing her albums, because sometimes it's a little more obscure and a little off to the left trying to find certain stuff, especially like with Patti. I'm just gonna be real with Patti. I don't think a lot of people love Patti LaBelle. I think people like she has to still, in a sense, I feel like she still is trying to. She still is not trying to. I feel like she still is proving herself as a singer. People love Shaka Khan. People love Dionne Warwick. People love Gladys Knight. But in that, like, people adore Diana Ross, right? But in that group of people, and they love Aretha. But in that group, I feel like Patti is still the underdog. So when it's coming to like a lot of live footage on YouTube, there's a lot more of other artists in that group than Patti. When it comes to listening to like the remixes and stuff, it's very difficult because the Shoe on the Other Foot threw me by surprise. I had no idea Shoe on the Other Foot had a remix, and it was done during that era because her vocals sound amazing. I thought they were done after the era. From my understanding, these remixes, beautiful remix that I talked about a couple of weeks ago, beautiful remix, and I didn't know anything about it. So now I'm like, oh shoot. So the remixes are alternate versions or songwriters. Let me know what you want to hear from like When a Woman Loves. I think When a Woman Loves, just a little preview of my thoughts about When a Woman Loves. I think When a Woman Loves is probably, in terms of like a Patti, her essence and like her spirit, with all the little talks in between and the ballads and the really great up tempos and the song lyrics, I think that is a Patti LaBelle album. I don't like the cover. The era didn't do so well. The album clearly didn't sell, not clearly, but the album didn't sell well, and she caught on to that very quickly. Great vocal moments on that record, and some really great vocal moments from that era in terms of like her tour. And she seemed like she was just like kind of going independent at that time from that tour and certain stuff she was saying. It was just like, oh, we're in a new dark. Oh, that's the first album without Armstead. Oh, we're going into a whole new situation here with When a Woman Loves. Okay, so that's it for the Dead Show. This little quick live for the Dead Show podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Over here on YouTube, please leave a comment. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like. Just leave a comment about what you think about Rhoda. Are you excited that she's leaving? Are you sad? I'm kind of sad. It's the end of that era. What did you probably don't have any thoughts about Patti, but I'm just letting you know here, letting you know about Patti LaBelle. Um, and I'm on Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts. Instagram is my love, my need tonight. Somebody's moving. Okay, let me go be nosy. Thank you so much for listening. I gotta go. I'm trying to exit out. Okay, I guess I just abandon.